All right, Shalom. Let's see. Okay. Let's check the feed out. Bear with me. Every time I get on this thing, it's super slow. All right, here we go. Hey, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with a quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Kodash. And I came across this article here on my on the feed, on my news feed. Let me pull it up. And I said I just wanted to show this this article that I went through before, real quick before we get into it. The Palantir, co-founder pushes return to public hangings as part of a masculine leadership initiative. And as you see his face, he looks like a real devil. All right, as we went into that a few days ago. All right, so everything is moving towards persecution. Okay, so getting to the main point, the main part here. All right, Bill C. What's it called? Bill C-9. All right. Bill C-9, the Combating Hate Act. Famine of the word in motion. Right. So I saw this earlier here. The headline: criminalizing Bible verses. Canadian lawmakers target religious expression with proposed hate speech amendment. All right. So here's the original article here from Zero Hedge. Okay. So again, the headline here. All right, we're in that time, man. Criminalizing Bible verses. Canadian lawmakers target religious expression with proposed hate speech amendment. All right. This isn't a move that should alarm anyone who is pro free speech, right? Who is pro free speech. Members of Canada's Liberal Party have how you say that word? Capitulated to pressure from Quebec's ultra-secular separatist party by voting to strip away a long-standing religious exemption from the country's hate speech laws as part of the draconian Bill C-9, also known as the so-called Combating Hate Act. So here we go. All right, and we know as the usual culprits who's behind the Salakia. Let me go back. We know who's behind the forwarding of this of these laws and decrees, right? In the name of hate. Okay, we gotta stop hate. We gotta stop people being radicalized on the internet. Is getting ready to happen, man. All right, heavy persecution is on the horizon. Bill C-9, also known as the so-called Combating Hate Act. Let's play the video. All right, it's like a quick 30-second video. All right, so here we go.
If someone were literally invoking a passage from, in this case, the Bible, but there are other religious texts that say the same thing, and somehow say that this is good faith. I mean, clearly there are situations in these texts where these statements are hateful. They should not be used to invoke or be a defense, and there should perhaps be discretion for prosecutors to press charges. I just want to understand what your notion of good faith is in this context, where there are clearly passages in religious texts that are clearly hateful.
There you go. Let's listen to it again, because this devil's talking about pressing charges. And this shows you how hurt these Edomites are, man. The word is going out. Okay? The devil has been identified, man. Prophecies coming to pass. Okay? The overwhelming spirit of prophecy can't be denied. Okay? This truth is tearing down this man's stronghold. Okay? So this, matter of fact, before I play it again, what was that in I think it's Hosea. All All right. This is just in the spirit, you know. Came across the feed, just putting this out here. Okay. Because the C-9 bill popped up again. We did a lesson on this probably about a couple years ago, a year or so, where they were talking about the same thing. Right. This is Hosea. Bear with me. This is Hosea 6:5. And it reads, it says, therefore I have hewn them by the prophets. I have hewn them by the prophets. Hey, these people, these Edomites, okay, they're being hewn down by the spirit of prophecy, man. They're being torn to shreds. Therefore have I hewn them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. Okay. And thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. All right. So these devils are being hewn down through the spirit of prophecy, man. Right. Where's that one in Jeremiah? I think it's the 5th chapter. Okay. Bear with me. Jeremiah 5 and this is Jeremiah 5:14. And it reads, it says, wherefore thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And that's what's happening. Okay. These Edomites, these heathen, these 2/3 are being devoured by the spirit of prophecy. He said he would make the words in our mouths like fire, and the people would, and it should devour them, man. Okay, so Esau's ready to get rid of the prophets. He's ready to get rid of the scriptures. All right, he's ready to try to attempt to move the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua out of the way. Okay. Obadiah, last verse. Right. This is Obadiah 1:21. It says, and Savior should come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. All right, that's what's going on. Okay. The Lord has raised the prophets back up, the true prophets, okay, to judge the mount of Esau. Mountains represent major governments, all right? So the Edomite hegemony is being judged by the prophets, man, okay? It says, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's, all right? And that's the message that's being declared by the prophets, man, okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is on his way to deliver his people, the elect. Okay, that 1/3, the hopeful elect, man, and to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America, according to the Bible. Okay, so these devils are big hurt. Believe that.
If someone were literally invoking a passage from, in this case, the Bible, but there are other religious texts that say the same thing, and somehow say that this is good faith. I mean, clearly there are situations in these texts where these statements are hateful. They should not be used to invoke or be a defense, and there should perhaps be discretion for prosecutors to press charges. I just want to understand what your notion of good faith is in this context, where there are clearly passages in religious texts that are clearly hateful.
There you go. Hurt. Gotta love it, man. This is real fast. Let's go to the book of Amos 5:10 real quick. All right. Amos 5:10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. All right. Understand that the true prophets of the Lord would be hated by this world, man. Okay. If we were of the world would love his own. All right. But the message that we're speaking is not of this world, man. Okay. The spirit of truth from the world cannot receive, right? You know, Amos 5:10, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate and abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So again, these devils have been constantly plotting and scheming on essentially getting rid of the Bible. All right, getting the prophets off the highways and hedges, you know, getting our videos, you know, taken down off the internet. Okay, it's going to be a real purge of the word soon to come, man. But that's the famine that we've been warning about, right? Amos 8. Okay, all we got to do is just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing the word. That's it. No fucking gimmicks, no theatrics. Okay, just simply pushing the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. That's it. Amos 8:11. Behold, the day comes, saith the Lord, power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. All right. These devils talking about locking you up for Bible verses, man. Clearly, there's Bible verses that are hateful, right? So this is clearly an attack on freedom of speech, man. Okay, but you got to understand, we're in the midst of that transition of this, this AI, digital infrastructure, man. All right, you have something called social credit scores. Okay, so they can pretty much they can allow you to do, or what am I trying to say? Through that social credit score, what you say on the internet and what you believe politically, religiously, all of that, it can be used against you. Okay, so that's all tying into that, and they'll be able to regulate you through society of what you can and cannot do because of what you may have posted on the internet or what you may believe against this system. Whatever the case is, the things that you're talking about, the videos that you're watching. Okay, that's all included into that. All right, but this is the time we're coming into the famine of the word, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, hey, the Lord's about to close up shop, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and shall not find it. Right, because the Lord's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is getting ready to remove his presence, man. Okay, and I always make this point in verse 12. This also proves that when it goes down, these people, they know where the truth is coming from. They know who the true prophets are. All right, because if they didn't, verse 12 wouldn't have been written. Right, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and shall not find it. See that? So these people, when it all goes down, okay, and these people actually come to that realization, or I should say acknowledging that we were right the whole time, they're going to be trying to seek out the word, but it's going to be too late. This is why we're imploring our people to repent now, to get right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai right now, man. Stop prolonging. The scriptures talk about make no tarrying and turn to the Lord, man. Okay, this is all part of that gradualism effect. Okay, here it is. This is going on in Canada. Let's go back. This is going on in Canada, right? But how soon to be here in America? So you have to consider these things, man. You have to be, as I say, you have to be spiritually proactive, man. Get your shit in order. Get your shit together, man. Because they understand that these devils, they're coming. All right, Revelation 12. All right. They have to make the move, man. All right, Revelation 12 in verse 10, and I heard a loud voice and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strengthen the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. He's the accuser. False allegations, the setup, okay, enforcing these unlawful decrees. Okay, this is him, man. The biblical Edomites. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death, right? So that's the time we in. That's why, just going back to what I showed earlier, okay? Hey, this is the time that we could be martyrs for this thing. That's the mindset we got to have as we going through the straight gate, man. Anything can happen. Remember, we're a sacrifice, man. Okay? So tough times lie ahead indeed, man. Okay? Get your mind right. Understand what the hell you're involved in. Okay, you see what's going on with these bug out camps, all right, on how they're perverting the doctrine, twisting the words, stupid ass arguments, things that don't even matter, man. All right, that's how you know these guys are clearly set up to distract you from the things that matter. Okay, such as what's being presented to you right now, right? So get in order, right? Back in Revelation 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know that he had but a short time. These devils in high places know that their time is up, man. Okay? These people who issue out the laws and decrees, all right, that control the earth's resources, the money. Okay, they're hearing the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're hearing the words of the prophets, right? Isaiah 13. Okay, these devils believe, you got to understand, these devils are losing sleep, man. They're stressed the hell out. They're being exposed for every scandal, all types of corruption, shameful spewing. It's over for Babylon, man. Isaiah 13 and 2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, all right, which is America, and exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, right? The nobility, the nobles of this world, man. The judges, the leaders, okay? The elites, okay? This word has gone up, okay? So now they're reacting, all right? Let's read a little bit more. We'll wrap this up. All right, like I said, the draconian bill C-9, also known as the so-called Combating Hate Act. All right, this is came up again. All right, and this is really to cover Amalek, man. You see what's going on with the so-called JOO, the tiny top. Okay, it's a wrap for them. People are waking up. All right, Americans see that America is not controlled by by the so-called U.S. gov. They're controlled by the you-know-who's, right? It says, reading down here, it says, Canada's criminal code has long shielded good faith religious expression with a clear exemption that speech is not hate propaganda if in good faith the person expressed or attempted to establish by an argument an opinion on a religious subject or on an opinion based on a belief in a religious text. All right, and according to the text, all right, the Edomites are going down, and there's nothing they can do about it. It says on Tuesday evening that protection was casually deleted at the bloc Quebecules. It says insistence. It says CBC has the details on what happened next. Progress appeared to stall after the initial committee meeting to go over the bill was abruptly canceled last week. The sources speaking to CBC News said the bill was held up because Justice Minister Sean Fraser's office brokered the deal with Bloc without getting buy-in from the Prime Minister's office. Tuesday's meeting was scheduled last minute after last week's cancellation. The Bloc has long sought to remove the religious exemption, saying religion could be used as a see that? Such as homophobia or anti, you know what? Told you. This is what it's about right here. All right, covering the tiny top's ass. Blanchett said his party would not support the bill without the amendment. Conservatives immediately sounded the alarm. Canadian opposition leader Pierre Poilievre warned on X that the amendment would, quote, criminalize sections of the Bible, Quran, Torah, and other sacred texts. All right, so we're here. All right, we've been warning you about the spiritual warfare, man. Here it goes. Right, it's time to stand 10 toes for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because the war is here. It's at the door. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that we want to take out of this. Let's play this one.
They're prepared to mount, with the support of the Bloc Québécois, a full-scale assault on religious freedom.
What the amendment is targeting is Section B.
This is a red line.
Did Minister Fraser
Let's make it bigger. I'm going to play it back. 1 second. See if I can blow the screen up. There we go. All right. 1 second. Hold on. Why is it not playing? Come on, man. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can. Let's play it on X. Well, let me go to X. Salakia, hold on. Come on, man. All right, bear with me. It was not even pulling up on there. All right, we'll play it back on that regular screen. All right, hold on 1 second. Don't tell me it's froze on me. All right. Let's go back to it. I should be able to play it again. All right, let's reload it real quick and see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna pull back up. All right, damn, it just disappeared now. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see if it play again. Salakia. All right, here we go.
They are prepared to mount, with the support of the Bloc Québécois, a full-scale assault on religious freedom.
What the amendment is targeting is Section B.
This is a red line.
Did Minister Fraser inform you that he wanted to remove that religious defense? Yes or no?
And I do believe this is a matter that touches on privilege. He specifically is claiming that a particular amendment with particular provisions is coming before the committee, and I don't think you can do that.
That was taken away from us. That was stripped from this Justice Committee, which I find deplorable.
I'm also so encouraged by the fact that we have 14 Conservative MPs that are here.
I'm going to stop you from speaking now.
I will continue to say the things out loud that many of my colleagues and many in government and far too close to government do not have the courage to say. And I will never be silenced from saying it.
It's kind of a crazy situation we find ourselves in to even be having this conversation. We see a political party who says they are very concerned about the overreach of the federal government, and yet comes here to Ottawa begging for that federal government to have more power over the people who send them here. Shamefully, yeah, on you. You are a hypocrite.
So I'm going to ask you to apologize.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
There is a standing order that allows us to be appealed directly to the Speaker if you deprive him of the floor. You probably don't know that.
Put it this way, Mr. Giovanni is not going to speak again until he retracts those comments.
Okay. Well, Chair, then I would like to raise a question of privilege.
Yeah, so hey, we close. You know, just like you brother C, man. Hey, we close. All right. It's all about to go down. Okay, let's see if there's any more. It says Canada's Justice Minister Fraser, scrambling to contain the fallout, claimed the change will, quote, will not criminalize faith and in no way, shape, or form prevent a religious leader from reading their religious texts. All right? Do you believe that? It says freedom of religion remains a charter right, Fraser said, as if repeating the obvious somehow negates the chilling effect of removing an explicit statutory shield. Yeah, that's it, man. So it's going down, man. All right, the famine of the word is closer than ever, man. Psalms 37. All right, Psalm 37 and 12. And it reads, it says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth going back to his power, man. And these devils are plotting and scheming, as you see. All right. They're looking to outlaw the Bible. And we've been telling you about this, man, that they eventually was going to try to outlaw the Bible. They'll probably label the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai as anti-Semitic. You know, these things are not far-fetched, man. All right, certain scriptures, Revelation, 2:9, 3:9, you already know. Romans 9 and 13, right? Scriptures that have to do with the nations going into slavery. You know, Esau could come up with all types of shit, you know, to try to lock you up, to put you in prison, to find you, to fine you $20,000. That was another thing. It was like $20,000 to $30,000 fines for hate speech. You know, they were trying to push that in different countries. So, man, all types of shit is coming, man. Right? Again, Psalm 37 and 12, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Verse 13, the point, the Lord shall laugh at him. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall laugh at him, for he seeth his day is coming. Exactly. The day of reckoning for the Edomite in the nations is near, man. Okay? They're hurt, they're confused, they're scrambling, they can't get along with each other. All right? They're in complete shambles, man. Getting exposed, turning on each other, you know, fighting for position and power. You know, the Edomite is through, man. Verse 14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Going back to the prophets, we hold the upright conversation, which is this truth. Right? And they want to slay us. They want to put us in prison. Okay? Have I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? All right. So look at the power again. Look at the power of the word, the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Again. Okay. Faith is flourishing. Prophecy is going out. Understanding is going out. All the lies are being torn down. You know, shit that's going on in the dark is being brought to light. Okay. It's a wrap out here, man. Gotta love it. Right. So we'll leave it right there. Okay. You know, just wanted to put that out there. The water for the precepts on the comment board. Heavy stuff, man. All right. But just to inform you, brothers and sisters out there, of we're extremely close. All right. So I'll leave it like that. Hey, I pray that this quick lesson was edifying. We'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakudash, and Shalom to the next one. Shalom. That's good.